Hello dear friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Patty. I go by Pattymac Makes everywhere online. In today's video, I have a really fun announcement and project to share with you. So I've been working on this project for about the last month, and I'm really excited to reveal it to you today. About a month ago, I joined the Missouri Star Partner Program. And as part of being a Missouri Star Partner, I get to select a combination of items each month that they then send to me. So what's so exciting about this project? Well, it is the first one in a series utilizing the Whiskers product line that came out from, is it Make Hour UK? I think it's Make Hour. Okay, so I'm using the Whiskers fabric. In particular, I'm using the panel print. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will link to two previous videos for you. One is where I unbox the Whiskers fabric, and the second one is where we take a closer look at the fabrics and the panel and all of that. It is a very cute product line. I know a lot of you went out and purchased the fat quarter bundle, the panel, and some of the yardage. You'll be happy to know some of the stuff is back in stock, but I will tell you, is when I checked this morning, the panel was again out of stock. But don't despair. What you can do is put your name on a list. Missouri Star will prompt you, and you can be on a list, and they will email you when an item is restocked. So if you like this that I'm going to show you today, and you go over and the panel is sold out, don't worry, you can be notified when it comes back. Okay, so the other thing to unpack is, what is a Missouri Star Partner? Well, a Missouri Star Partner is somebody who works with Missouri Star to present different products. It could be fabrics, it could be patterns, it could be notions. I would like to present a combination of all of those things for you, just to give you a flavor of what is available. The biggest bonus of being a part of the Missouri Star family is that I get assigned different links. I get to share those links with you, and when you use them, you get a discount on your purchase. Right now, that discount is running at 20% off, and this even works on a lot of sale items. It doesn't work on all of the sale items, it works on a lot of them. So you get to enjoy beautiful fabric. Generally, Missouri Star will discount what they're selling anyway, and then you get another 20% off. And all you have to do is to use the link that I provided for you in the description. I do receive a commission every time you make a purchase using my link, but you know what? It doesn't cost you anything. In fact, it saves you money. And if you're going to shop anyway, why not save a little money? And then you also help to support my work here on the channel. Your purchases through that link make it possible for me to continue sharing information and projects and products and all of that with you. Okay, let's talk about what's going on behind us. As you can see, it's very, very bright. And as you can also see, it's on the smaller side of things. So I went with like a baby-sized quilt or a wall hanging. You can see it makes a really cute wall hanging. And I displayed it using the method that I use to display all of my quilts. And I will link to that video for you also. It's a very simple system that you can put up yourself in your home if you want to hang your quilts and you're not sure what to do. It works for me. It's really easy to change things out. I change it out all the time. And I love it because now I can speak with you and have the work hanging behind me. I call this project the Sunshine Kittens, and I'm calling it that because it's Sawtooth Stars, and then I fussy cut the kittens from the panel print to be the center panel in the star unit. For fabrics, I wound up using a couple of items I had in my stash, and then I used items that I got from Missouri Star. So the panel print came from Missouri Star. The Flowerland that I used as my like neutral fabric came from Missouri Star. And then the white background, which is a Bella cotton, that also came from Missouri Star. The orange and the blush colors, those are Ruby Star from their Sugar collection, and I had that in stock. So this panel print, it has a lot of color going on, and I do mean a lot. And the way that you can figure out what colors are in your panel is that you take a look at the selvage, and they have printed the colors for you, and they just look like little paw prints. So let's see if I can, if I do this. Okay, there we go. So you can see there's just like this long line of little paws, and these are all the colors that are in the fabric. And I landed on this orange and a pink. And they're not an exact match, but they're very close, and I thought they worked really well. So you could pick, you know, any number of colors, but what I would suggest to you is that you pick 2 colors, and if you can, pick them so that they're next to each other on the color wheel to give you like a nice harmony of color. You don't want to have the color vibrating off the scale, because I think it's overpowering and something as busy as this particular quilt. It's based on 8.5-inch squares or 8-inch finished squares, so it's kind of a small block. And if you cram too much color information into such a small block, and then you have all of these repetitions, I think it's overwhelming to the eye. And I like the idea of the orange with the stars because I wanted it to be like a sunshine. We're in spring, and it's really nice to have a beautiful spring motif to celebrate the return of the sun. If you wanted something maybe a little more masculine, there is that blue-green combination you could work with. There's red and pink, but I really liked the orange with the pink personally. So those are your colors. It's a lot. So just pick 2. The way that I designed this quilt was to like limit the range of colors so that it's not overwhelming. It's bright, it's happy, but it doesn't like blow your doors off with too many prints and colors and all of that. I went for 2 colors. I picked colors that were next to each other on the color wheel, and for a 3rd color, I picked what I'm calling a neutral, so like a low volume. And then I did do what I'm calling a background fabric, and I sashed all the way around all of the stars, and then you would call it like an inner border. I did that in the same white background. And I feel like that just kind of separates each of the stars and just lets you take each one of them in. And then I finished with a 2.5-inch strip border of what I call my color A, which is the orange. Something else that I did when I put this quilt together was to what I'll call stair step the colors. And so what you'll see is like an ascending line of blocks that are all in the same color family. So there's like an orange patch, and then there's one with the neutral, and then there's one with that blush pink. And I think that really gives a beautiful cohesive flow to the look of the quilt, and also as you read the color information. I think that it really works well. Because it's a Sawtooth Star, it's got loads and loads of seams. And I wound up making my star points using the Eleanor Burns 4 at a Time Flying Geese. And these are the 2x4 flying geese. And even though it's not a big flying goose unit, you need the large flying goose ruler to properly trim them. Now you can use whatever method you like to make flying geese. I just wound up using the Eleanor Burns method because I like it. And if you're not familiar with that, I have a video on it. I'll link to that also in the description. I would recommend the flying geese because it does cut 4 seams out of your block when you do that. And there's already so many seams that removing 4 of those, I think, helps with the structure and the overall look of the block. If you don't want to do the sashing, you don't have to do it. I recommend it because it gives a little separation for each block, and it makes it a lot easier to put it together because you don't have to specifically line up all of those seams and points. There's a ton of seams and a ton of points that you have to work with in this particular quilt. So if you can make your life a little bit easier and just do that narrow border, I would do it. If you really want to challenge yourself, then you can go ahead and line it all up. But I chose to do the narrow sash and make it a little bit easier on myself. And I also think that overall the quilt reads a little bit better. All right, well, let's jump in and take a look at how I physically made the blocks. This is just going to be a quick look, and then we'll just take a look at the finished piece. So here we are a little bit closer to the quilt, and you can see all of the little individual blocks, at least in this section, and I just think it's adorable. I am so happy with how this came out. This piece measures 42 by 42. It has 16 total squares. So if you wanted something a little bit smaller, you could like cut out an entire column if you wanted to, and just go with 12. I think 12 would make a nice baby's quilt, but if you went with the full 16 blocks, really cute to do as a wall hanging in the baby's room. I love how each block has its own personality with its own kitten illustration. Every one of these illustrations is different. I just can't believe that they put so much into that panel print, and it's like $6. It's not expensive. And I believe there's 40 or 42 total illustrations, so I have not even used half of the illustrations. If you wanted a larger sized quilt, you could easily size this up to like a twin. I don't think you could go any larger than twin, but you could get it pretty close if you monkeyed around with your borders a little bit. You could get it to a twin size pretty easily, which would be great for a kid. But this particular 4x4 setup, it's a great look for a wall hanging. So that is the closer look at the Sunshine Kittens, and I do have a blog post on just maybe a little bit closer look, maybe a little more steps that you might want to see in putting this together. I do plan on putting together like a formal written pattern with all of the specifics, because I know some people might need a little more detail and specifics to make a quilt like this. But those are very time consuming, and I wanted to get this video out because people are really searching right now for the projects that I'm making using these fabrics. And so I wanted to get this out and show it to you. And honest to goodness, if you can make one of these Sawtooth Stars, you can make the quilt. It's very easy. You're just making the block. You're going to make 16 of them. You're going to sash, and you're going to put a border on. And in the blog post, I'll give you all of the specific details about how many blocks of which color to make. I'll also give you suggestions for substitutions that you can use for the oranges and pinks. And I mean, really, it's going to be using Bella Solids. Those are really good. I do like the sugar print because it has just a little bit, it's like an irregular polka dot is what it looks like, and it's so cute. And I think having just that little bit of a design element in that fabric just contributes to the overall look of the finished project. But unfortunately, Missouri Star does not carry sugar, and so I can't offer that to you as a discount. It is still available out there on different websites. You'll just have to search if you want to make this exact look of quilt. Originally, I bought all of my sugar from Fat Quarter Shop. I got it all on sale, and I've been collecting it for a while to use in a fairly large quilt project that I want to do with that. And so I've had it in stash, and I just decided to use it here. And I'm going to have to reorder some of that orange color because I used, I guess, about a yard of it in this project, maybe a yard and a half. All of the numbers are on the blog post. I hope you enjoyed this closer look at what I think is a really cute quilt. And stay tuned because I do have more projects coming featuring this really adorable fabric line. So as always, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy this project, and let me know what you think. And until next time, happy quilting and happy sewing, my friends.